From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina.
Today is Thursday. It's November 17th, 2016, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And we are here today on this Thursday morning. It's 7 o'clock in the a.m. The show repeats at noon, and the show repeats again at 5:30 p.m. We have a special show for you today. You know, last Friday was Veterans Day. And, of course, there was the build-up to Veterans Day, and then, of course, the Veterans Day Parade on Friday and all that. Just a big event, the federal holiday and the state holiday, and of course we observed it as well here with the county. Today's program is a special presentation that was given at Wayne Community College, and the keynote speaker was Colonel Joe Marm, the recipient of the Medal of Honor, Congressional Medal of Honor presented to Colonel Marm during the Vietnam War, and he will tell his story. Plus there will be other parts of the program as well. But that will be our program today, and looking forward to showing it to you. It will be in two parts. And that'll be coming up in just a few minutes. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Very good. So what's happening?
What is happening,
Well, I got
Wayne?
this card here with a big old turkey on it.
Tipsy turkey ball?
That's what it says, a tipsy turkey ball. Tipsy turkey ball. Anyway, it's going to be held Wednesday, and this is the chamber, I guess. Excuse me, I didn't mean to throw that.
Are you throwing it at me?
Sorry about that.
I think he's already tipsy.
Anyway, Downtown Goldsboro Development, DGDC sent this out. DGDC, Wednesday at the Terrace Room on South Center Street, which is there at the Waynesboro House. The Terrace Room, $20 per person. That includes everything. And that will be DJ Tommy King will be presenting the music at hand. There'll be a Yeti raffle and a whole lot more stuff. And if you want to know more about the 8 p.m. start time on Wednesday, November 23rd at the Terrace Room, the Tipsy Turkey Ball taking place, you can call DGDC, and their phone number, 919-735-4959, 735-4959, the Tipsy Turkey Ball. There you go.
Okay.
And, well, let's see. Now, this is from the Chamber. On December 7th, they have
Education hot topic.
an education hot topic. Thank you. And they asked the question, how is the education community working together for a stronger Wayne, and what does it mean for the future? Well, on December 7th, you will get answers to that question, beginning at 12 o'clock at Lane Tree. For chamber members, it's $20. Non-members, it's $30. And you can RSVP to Linda at LindaM@WayneCountyChamber.com. LindaM at WayneCountyChamber.com, or you can just simply call 919-734-2241. Okay? Speakers will include Dr. Michael Dunsmore, the Superintendent of the Wayne County Public Schools, Dr. Philip Kerstetter, who is President of the University of Mount Olive, and Dr. Thomas Walker, who is the President of Wayne Community College. Boy, that's a lineup, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody knows about education, these three gentlemen do. And again, that's beginning at noon on Wednesday, December 7th. Also from the Chamber of Commerce of Wayne County, they have their annual holiday mixer. They do this every year just before the holidays, just before Christmas. This will be December 8th. That's a Thursday, beginning at 5:30 at the Chamber office. They'll have music and food and holiday punch and a whole bunch of stuff there. That's at the Chamber office on December 8th.
Annual holiday mixer.
They do it every year. It's a lot of fun. Check it out. If you're a chamber member, even if you're not a chamber member, go to this and find out about how you can become a chamber member. How's that? We've talked about that. Haven't we talked about that?
We did, but let's talk about it.
Right,
Medicare Part D open enrollment began in October, and it will continue to run through December the 7th.
That's right.
The ship counselors are available at the Peggy M. Senior Center on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays,
That's right.
starting at 9 a.m. until noon. So if anyone needs help with their Medicare Part D.
D for medication. Drugs. Medication, right? Yeah. Because plans change. Things change during the year, and it may not work well for you.
That's right.
And there are other plans available. Check it out. Check it out. Uh-uh. Huh? Plus, the Family Y. What do we have from the Family Y?
The Family Y will be closed starting Saturday, November the 19th through the 27th, and will reopen back on November the 28th.
Now, why are they doing this?
They are having some improvements done.
How do you improve something that's already...
Well, they will be having the gym and exercise room floors will be resurfaced.
Whoa.
They will have the main hallway floors will be redone.
Okay.
A new hot water boiler will be put in.
A new boiler.
And new wellness center floor will be installed.
Wow.
And best of all, they will have new cardio equipment
Wow.
will be coming in.
So they're going to be closed on the dates again. What is that again?
November 19th through the 27th.
So that'll be through Thanksgiving.
All the way
the
through
Thanksgiving holiday there.
But
But
they will have the turkey trot.
the turkey trot. Now that's on Thanksgiving Day, right? The
Yes.
24th, that's a Thursday. The 24th, turkey trot starts early in the morning.
At 8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock. Can you go dressed as a turkey?
You can go dressed as a turkey
Or a pilgrim?
or a pilgrim,
Or a blunderbuss?
whatever you want to.
Or horn of plenty. There you go. Right?
That's right.
There you go. Okay. The city of Goldsboro is still encouraging or discouraging people from driving along streets and picking up stuff that's been thrown out to be thrown away because there was a lot of damage during Hurricane Matthew and the subsequent flooding. Therefore, a lot of this damaged material has been thrown out on the highway or the street beside the structure. And what happens is that this has all been infected, for lack of a better term, with mold and mildew. So it could make you sick if you try to stop and pick up something that you think, oh, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. Well, don't do that, because that stuff could be dangerous. Stay away from it. It's for the trash, and you need to pay close attention to that. You see something lying on the side of the road to be picked up by the trash department, sanitation department, don't touch it, because it could be very dangerous. Leave it alone. Okay, Christmas parades. We got 3 on December 3rd. That's coming up. December 3rd, a very special day. December 3rd. The first is in Mount Olive.
Yes.
Hey, at 10 o'clock. And then the second Christmas parade is in Fremont at noon. 1 o'clock, I meant to say. And then the third is here in Goldsboro at 4 p.m.
That's right.
Okay. And at 4 p.m., in fact, I happen to know that, and this just in. This just in. Announcement has not been made as yet, but should I tell them who the MCs are?
No.
Okay. I will not tell them who the 2 MCs are going to be. No. Let's make them guess. It will be Ronald Reagan, Okay, maybe not. Guess. Anyway, that will be on December 3rd at 4 o'clock. We'll tell you later who the MCs are, okay?
Don't forget Downtown Lights Up.
And don't forget Downtown Lights Up
November 22nd.
on November the 22nd.
At City Hall.
At City Hall. Be there. Thank you. We're going to go to our interview now. Well, it's actually a special program. Referring back to Veterans Day, this was actually from November 12th. It took place at Wayne Community College. And this is part 1 coming up on Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Will everyone please stand for the posting of colors by the Army Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps from Charles B. Aycock High School.
Forward, march. Turn left, march. Mark time, march. Colors, hold. Left, hey. Raise that, colors.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order, go. Right, hey. Forward, march. Mark on, march. Color, hold. Order, march.
Good afternoon. I'm Gene Smith, and it's an honor to welcome you to Wayne Community College to celebrate today's Veterans Day and honor our veterans for their patriotism, love of country, and willingness to serve and sacrifice for the common good. Wayne Community College takes great pride in providing educational and training opportunities for at least 460 currently enrolled veterans from all branches of the military. As a result of our efforts to serve members of the military, Wayne Community College has been recently, this morning as a matter of fact, recognized as a 2017 military-friendly school. This designation indicates that we represent the top tier of institutions in the United States who provide the best opportunities for military service members and their spouses. We meet or exceed benchmarks for recruitment, retention, advancement, support, and job placement of veterans. The college's commitment to our veterans is demonstrated in many different ways. One such example can be found on the second floor of the Wayne Learning Center, this building, in the form of the Military Resource Center. This facility is dedicated to supporting our military and veteran students by providing assistance in determining the best educational path to achieve their goals and assist in discovering and utilizing all the resources available at the college and in our community. It's also a place to relax, study, and meet other servicemen and women. Today, I invite you to visit our Military Resource Center. At this time, I would like to thank the the 18 agencies and organizations that are participating in the Military and Partners Expo in the atrium. Thank you for providing their services for those who serve and their families. I'd like to also thank the Artist Daily Bread Catering for the reception food that we will all enjoy at the conclusion of this ceremony, Brooklyn Pizzeria for lunch for the cadets, the Charles B. Aycock Army Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps for their participation in this celebration, the Wayne Community College Government Association Officers and Ambassadors for serving as ushers, the Wayne Community College Veterans Club for laying a wreath at the college's Veterans Monument on behalf of the campus community. The Veterans Monument is located on the north side of our campus, if you'd like to visit that as well. I would also like to recognize members of Team Rubicon. Team Rubicon is taking a few minutes off from helping our community to recover from Hurricane Matthew. Team Rubicon is a disaster response team composed of veterans and emergency management professionals. They left their home and are currently living at Wayne County Fairgrounds while helping our neighbors get back into their homes. At this time, I would like to introduce Captain David A. Blevins, United States Air Force chaplain with the 4th Fighter Wing Chaplain Corps on Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, to provide our invocation.
On this most special day, I would invite you all to join me for a moment of prayer. Almighty God, we thank you for the blessings that you have provided. Likewise, we thank you for the life that we have today, friends, family, freedom, and liberty. We thank you for those throughout the years have stood and said, "Count me among those who would stand for liberty in the face of tyranny and oppression." We thank you for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice to ensure that liberty in the face of tyranny and oppression. It is with the thoughts of sober, Lord, that we remember our veterans and we give thanks for them. We remember our veterans who have served in our armed forces. It's for them that we give thanks. It is for these men and women of courage that we stand and we gather today. We are grateful for their inspired sense of patriotism, their vigilance, their unwavering service, their attention to detail. It is for these few things and many countless more that we ask a blessing to fall upon all who carry the title veteran. It is to you that we'll give you the thanks, the glory, and the honor forever. Amen.
I would like to introduce First Lieutenant, soon to be Captain, Haley Wilhide. She's a Wayne Community College Medical and Office Administration instructor, and she will introduce our esteemed guest speaker. Thank you.
Our speaker today doesn't stand out. Colonel Walter Joseph Marm Jr. could be just another retiree living in a quiet life in Fremont with his wife, just your average Joe. But inside the quiet, meek demeanor beats the heart of a lion that wouldn't let his company be mowed down by the enemy on November 14, 1965 in Vietnam. Joe Marm drew fire on himself so the enemy would be exposed, then tried to destroy their machine gun himself. When that failed, he hurled grenades at the insurgents who were manning the gun, taking out some of them. He finally killed the rest with his rifle. During the skirmish, he was shot through the jaw. That injury sent the second lieutenant home, where he recovered and was awarded the Medal of Honor. He returned to active duty, but he wouldn't stay stateside. In 1969, he insisted on returning to Vietnam. He stayed in the Army until 1995, when he retired as a colonel. In addition to the Medal of Honor, Colonel Marm's awards and decorations include the American Veterans Center Joe Ronnie Hooper Award, the Legion of Merit, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Meritorious Service Award with 4 oak leaf clusters, Air Medal with 2 oak leaf clusters, and the Army Commendation Medal with 1 oak leaf cluster. I'm so proud to have been given this opportunity to welcome Colonel Marm back to Wayne Community College and the chance to share the podium with him. Thank you, sir, for your service, and thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Thank you.
Back on Wayne Goldsboro Television, thank you for being with us. We'll have part two for that program here in just a moment. But a couple of things to go over with you very quickly. We do have blood drives in Goldsboro today. The first is at Goldsboro High School. That begins this morning at 9:30, goes till about 2. Goldsboro High School today, a blood drive at 9:30 this morning. The next one will be on the 21st in Dudley. The blood drive in Dudley will be at Southern Wayne High School. It begins at 8:30 on the 21st of November, November 21st. And then, when is that? That's next week, isn't it? That's next Monday. And then the next Tuesday, there'll be 3 blood drives. Excuse me, 2 blood drives. The first one will be at Meadow Lane Elementary School. That begins at 12:30 at Meadow Lane next Tuesday. The second one will begin at 1 o'clock at Carver Elementary School. At Carver Elementary School, I believe that's Mount Olive, next Tuesday. And then finally a blood drive a week later on the 29th at Butterball Corporate, which is at 501 North Oak Forest Road. That begins at 10 a.m. on the 29th. Now, what's special about today?
What's special, Wayne?
I ask you first. What's special, Wayne? Today is the 17th, and today is Beaujolais Nouveau Day. Sounds French, doesn't it? Don't know. Okay, well, we'll have to try that. Today is the day of the Great American Smokeout. That's important. It's been going on for a number of years, since the 70s. Great American Smokeout. Today is also Homemade Bread Day. Well, that sounds good, doesn't it? Well, you drive by Franklin Baking Company, it almost smells just, that's what I think of. Today is National Unfriend Day.
Why did you do that?
How did I do what?
Why did you stop?
Because it says National Unfriend Day. But you know what? I think somebody's unfriended me because I've got 3 less than I had a month ago. Unless somebody passed away, and I hope that. But then they don't unfriend them because they can't. Because today is also Petroleum Day. It's a gas. All right. Today is also, turn the page, surprise. And today is the end of what makes special today. Or what is special today. That's what's special about today, Wayne. National Unfriend Day. Okay. Time for our trivia question for today. And today's trivia question has to do with politics. The category is national elections. We just went through that, didn't we?
Yes.
And it was not a very nice one.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I got to roll my sleeves up here for this one. All right. There's always been elections since this country began. One of those elections, just one, during one of those elections, there was only one person running for office. In other words, there was an election, one guy was running, and nobody was running against him. And there was a reason for it. Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about the one where I'm not talking about the election where one of the opponents passed away before the election was held. That did happen. I'll tell you about that one later. But there was an election where there was only one candidate running for office. Who won that particular office? Now, there's only been 43 people who have won election to office. We've had 44 presidential terms, 43 people. Who was the one who ran against himself, I guess? There was nobody running against him. Who was that? We'll have the answer to that question coming up, and more, coming up after part 2 of our program here on Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Thank you.
Thank you, Haley, for that very kind introduction. I'd like to thank Wayne Community College and its new president, Dr. Thomas Walker, who is a Marine Corps veteran, a tanker in the Marine Corps in the 1980s, for inviting me here to speak to you today. I can think of no greater honor than to be here and thank our veterans for all they have done for our great nation. The support of our families made our job as soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen a little bit easier with the phone calls home, from home, cards, letters, care packages that we received from our loved ones back here. On the 11th of November, 1921, the remains of an unknown soldier from World War I were solemnly delivered to Arlington National Cemetery that overlooks the nation's capital. The flag-draped casket was carried aboard the same simple carriage that once carried the body of Abraham Lincoln. That fallen soldier, whose name is known only to God, had been killed while fighting for our country in the trenches of Western Europe. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, that soldier was finally laid to rest in his home soil. The tomb of the unknown soldier serves as a reminder to all Americans that the price of freedom has never been cheap. Those interred beneath its granite stones are a reminder of the tremendous debt the nation owes its veterans. On the 28th of May, 1984, I had the privilege of being an honorary pallbearer for the Vietnam Unknown. We had 8 Medal of Honor recipients from Vietnam, 2 Army, 2 Marine Corps, 2 Air Force, and there were 2 POWs from Vietnam too. So we had a total of 10, and we walked behind the caisson in the casket of the Vietnam Unknown from the Capitol through the streets of Washington, D.C. up to Arlington National Cemetery. Along the streets were thousands of active duty service men and women that were saluting as the casket went by. So that was quite an honor for me to do that and to be there for that, for the Vietnam Unknown. But a few years ago, the Vietnam Unknown, using new DNA techniques, there is no longer a Vietnam Unknown. Today we pause to honor our veterans, past, present, and future, those who served and those who are serving and are preparing to serve our nation in the days ahead. Our past warriors served in places like the hedgerows of Normandy, the hilltops of the 38th parallel in Korea, in the jungles of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan, and the deserts of Iraq. They distinguished themselves through the flak above Berlin and in the dangerous skies of Mig Alley. With determination and valor, they devastated the enemy's fleets in the Solomon Slots and at Midway. On the beaches of Guadalcanal and at Incheon, they withstood hellish fire to secure a foothold for our liberty and democracy. Our present warriors are serving in many foreign countries throughout the world. Like their predecessors, they are facing challenges on a daily basis. Once again, they are displaying both the warrior spirit and the compassion so typical of the American servicemen and women. These American veterans, past and present, did not march to foreign shores armed with notions of glory. Conquest was never their goal. They went to the distant land with a simple notion that all people in all nations have a right to live in a world free from tyranny. They fought with an equally simple conviction that some principles of life are worth dying for. Like the unknown soldier at Arlington, many of them went off to war, never to see again the country they so gallantly served. In the last century alone, over 425,000 Americans have been killed in combat. Behind each of those deaths lies an American family in mourning. Words cannot possibly express the depth of sorrow their families felt when that fateful telegram arrived. During World War II, whole communities paused in silence as families replaced a blue star with a gold star in a window, signifying the loss of a son or a father. Today we collectively mourn each and every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, or Coast Guardman killed in combat. But the family's loss is still the same, a personal loss that can never be replaced but will always be appreciated. The soldiers of our nation's wars face serious challenges, both thanks to the ingenuity and the technical savvy and sheer tenacity of the American GI. The vast majority of them did return home. They went on to render services to their country that are beyond estimation. There was a GI named Rick Riscola. He was a proud veteran of the Vietnam War who exemplified in civilian life the courage and spirit of self-sacrifice he learned in battle. He was an OCS classmate of mine at Fort Benning, Georgia in 1965. We sailed to Vietnam on a merchant marine ship called the USS Maurice Rose. We both were infantry platoon leaders in the 7th Cavalry Regiment, 1st Cavalry Division, whose lineage goes back to General George Armstrong Custer. Now, General Custer is famous for his last battle at the Little Bighorn in 1876. Rick is on the cover of the book about the first major battle of the war. And the book is titled, "We Were Soldiers Once and Young." It was made into a movie called We Were Soldiers, starring Mel Gibson, and was an outstanding movie. Rick earned the Silver Star and the Purple Heart in that battle. It was called the Battle of Ia Drang and was fought on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of November, 1965. He was a true warrior and leader. I thought he would stay in and make general, but he got out after his commitment was up. He became a U.S. citizen because he came to America from Great Britain and served in the British Army. He went on to college and law school. He rose through the ranks of corporate America and became head of security for Morgan Stanley in the South Tower in New York City. On 9/11/2001, it came over the intercom in the South Tower that there's been some activity, an accident in the North Tower. Everything is okay, stay in place. He had been doing fire drills for the past 7 years as head of security, and he countermanded that order, and he said, everybody get out. In the Morgan and Stanley were from the 43rd to the 73rd floors in the South Tower. And he's shown with a bullhorn singing God Bless America and singing Gaelic songs like he sang to his troops in combat, trying to keep the employees calm as they were exiting the building. Like a good soldier, he went back in to make sure the building had been emptied out, and the South Tower went down first, and his body was never recovered. Our OCS class is attempting to get him the highest civilian award that our nation can present, called the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Every day in America, veterans are making significant contributions to our community. Emergency medicine is enhanced by the experience of those who first save lives in trauma units at combat support hospitals. Our airlines are staffed with thousands of skilled pilots who receive their wings on active duty. Our police forces and firefighters are teaming with veterans who were once military police and military firefighters. It's not just job skills that they bring to our communities. They bring their commitment, their work ethic, their sense of fair play, and their willingness to act as a member of a team. Now, with the global war on terrorism, our service members confront the enemy with the same vigor our veterans have always displayed. The horror of 9/11 demonstrated to many that we cannot take our past peace and prosperity for granted. Our veterans and service members already knew this. They knew our nation was founded not on the guarantees of the past, but the promise of the future. They know that freedom is not free and that eternal vigilance is the price we must pay for our liberty. What we must resolve to do now is to keep the faith with our veterans and our military as our nation fights and wins the war on terrorism. I wear the Medal of Honor for all the brave men that I served with in that tough battle in 1965. There was so much heroism and valor in that battle that it was extremely difficult to record it all. So I'm the caretaker of the medal for all the veterans of that battle. There were 2 helicopter pilots named Bruce Crandall and Ed Freeman who also received the Medal of Honor for flying their helicopter 22 times on that first day on the 14th of December in to bring us ammunition and water and take out the wounded. And I got shot, as Haley mentioned, on that first day after my action and was evacuated by one of them. So we had tremendous support from, it was a total team effort. We couldn't have taken that battle without the Air Force, the Marines, the Navy, fast movers providing close air support for us. We went in with 450, and after 3 days of intense fighting, we lost 79 soldiers killed in action and 121 wounded in action. Since the Civil War, there's been 3,500 Medal of Honor recipients, and we come from all walks of life, all nationalities. There's been 9 chaplains who received the Medal of Honor, 5 from the Civil War. We've had 1 from World War II and 1 from Korea, and 3 from Vietnam, 3 chaplains. There's been 1 lady to receive the Medal of Honor in the Civil War. And with the relook they're doing now, I'm sure there'll be more female veterans to be awarded the Medal of Honor. North Carolina, your home state here, we've had 34 recipients. 2 of them are pretty famous. One is was born and raised in Concord. He was in one of the big battles of World War I. His name is Lieutenant Cy Parker. Besides the Medal of Honor, he had the Distinguished Service Cross, the 2nd highest award, and 2 Silver Stars, the 3rd highest award, and 2 Purple Hearts. He died in 1975 and is buried over in Concord, North Carolina. The other recipient is very, very famous too. He was a Marine. He lied his age. World War II was starting up. His name is Jack Lucas. He grew up in Plymouth, North Carolina. He forged his mother's signature because he didn't want her to lie for him. And he was a big guy for his age. He enlisted at 15, and he went and he jumped on 2 grenades in a pretty tough battle in the Pacific on Iwo Jima. One was a dud, and one injured him pretty severely. But after he recovered, he came back to Plymouth and told his mother he was going to finish high school. So he was the youngest recipient since the Civil War at 17. After receiving the medal, he went back to high school in the 9th grade and finished high school and college. But and so we're a cross-section of America. I'm very humbled to be here and to be with you today. And I'd like to thank our veterans. We have to thank them today and every day. With your tremendous support, our servicemen and women will continue to honor their sacred duty of protecting this nation, our fellow citizens, and the freedoms that we hold so dear. And so I'd like to, God bless our veterans, and God bless this great country, and thank you for having me here today.
Colonel Marm, we cannot thank you enough for your service. There's no gift we could give you. But for speaking here today, we have one small token of our appreciation.
Thank you very much. It's a very special book to receive on Veterans Day. It's called Veterans Voices. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce Wayne Community College student Tyler Klein, who will share his thoughts on honoring those who serve. Tyler was an Army parachute rigger and squad leader. His wife is still serving, working in F-15 avionics at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. Tyler is currently studying to become a paramedic.
Yeah, I just passed my final yesterday. How about another round of applause for Colonel Marr? I mean, really. Thank you for inviting me to this podium and allowing me to close this thing up. I will try to be brief. This day is important to us as a nation and should be equally as important to us individually. Today is a day for remembrance and appreciation. Well, actually tomorrow, but I'm honored to be here. The amazing things that the patriot that spoke before me has done is a true testament as to what it means to be an American. Although our nation has had its struggles for much of its young life, we've strived to be a helping hand when needed and a sword of justice when no other options were available. The men and women who have been called upon to bring about said justice and peace have seen the true nature of evil that exists in this world. They've stepped up when others have not, would not. They run in the direction that most would have fled. They've stood and raised their hands and sworn an oath to support and defend the Constitution of these United States. There's a fortitude in that. That is something to strive to emulate. While our nation is divided at times, especially here recently, one thing remains constant. America has brave men and women who are willing and able to stand up and fight against our enemies and defend our neighbors, and also of whom stand by or refuse to stand by and do nothing. They miss birthdays, they miss holidays, family reunions, they miss deaths. Many of them have died to uphold our freedoms. While we do not necessarily deserve their sacrifice, we honor their dead with Memorial Day. We honor those who are still here on Veterans Day. So on Veterans Day, be sure to thank someone for their service and keep in the back of your mind, they are a small group, a 1% group to be exact. As only 1% of Americans actually serve this country in the military. Try to go to the parade downtown and enjoy all the freedoms and liberty granted to you by God and defended by your servicemen and women.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my her is America, my home, sweet home.
We are back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. There is a walking group.
There is.
A walking group. Now, you know, walking is the best exercise for you. It takes you a little longer to get where you want to go, and I don't mean that in distance. I'm talking about in being successful at what you're trying to do. It takes you a little longer, but the results stay with you longer. Walking is good for you. Everybody knows that. But if you're walking alone, that's no fun. If you're looking for a new way to motivate yourself and others to get moving, then there's a walking group. And they will meet every Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning in the lobby of the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center. Every Thursday in the morning, 8:30 a.m. at the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center. All right, if you want information about that, you call Rob. Rob is at 919-731-1589. 919-731-1589. And from the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center, the Alzheimer and Dementia Educational Enlightenment invites caregivers, spouses, family members, and those of the community to attend on November 3rd, which is way past, or November 7th.
Oh my.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna pull this out. Okay? Pull this out. We're just gonna start over.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Hope your day's going well for you. Again, I will remind you, as I did at the first part of the program, this show airs every morning at 7 o'clock, each day, Monday through Friday, and each day, and I promise, each day we use different words. And then, again at noon, and then again at 5:30 p.m.
Wayne Alley.
Oh. Come on, come on, come on, come on. You're ticklish. I know you are. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Are we on the last part?
The last part, yeah. 5. Last part, is that okay?
Yeah, because if it was the middle, we wouldn't get through none of it.
4, 3, 2, 1. We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. A couple of things for you. Quick reminders. I mentioned at the early part of the program, the show airs every morning at 7 a.m. Then it repeats at noon. Then it repeats again at 5:30 p.m. Hope you're able to join us. If you happen to miss any of that, you can see it on the weekends. It runs 4 times over the weekend. And then if you still miss it, it's on YouTube. We post it to YouTube every day. And all you have to do to get to our YouTube channel, we have a channel, is you go to our website, waynegov.com, waynegov.com. Click on the YouTube link in the upper right-hand corner, right there, of the website. Sorry.
Right.
Okay. And click on that little red dot and it'll take you right to our channel. Okay? In fact, everything we've ever done is on that YouTube channel. All right. If you need to get healthy, the best way you can get healthy, the best way is just to start walking. You know, Ellen DeGeneres talked about her grandmother. She started walking 5 miles a day. Yeah, that was 10 years ago, and now they don't even know where she is. You know, she just
kept on walking.
But there's a walking group available. Nobody likes to walk alone because it's not as much fun. I mean, you can do it, but it's not as much fun. It's just, you know, you get the same benefit, but it's more fun to walk with somebody. And time passes a lot faster if you walk with somebody. So if you're looking for a new way to motivate yourself, and perhaps even others, and to help get them get moving, There is a walking group that's available for you at the Peggy M. Seeger Senior Center, and they meet every Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning in the lobby of the Seeger Senior Center on East Ash Street. And if you have any questions about that, call Rob. Rob's number is 919-731-178. Excuse me, 731-1589. You knew that, didn't you? 731-1589. 731-1589. And
Wait a minute.
wait
While
just
you're
a second.
talking about walking groups,
Pause.
the Go Wayne Go
Oh yeah,
has their self-led walking.
they do have a self-led
Yes.
walking group. Yeah, Go Wayne Go does.
Yes.
And you can go to gowaynego.org and get a schedule, find out about what's going on with Go Wayne Go, and that's a motivation right there, because they want to help. They want you to get out and get walking. If you need help get out and get walking, they have a schedule, and you could follow them or go with them, talking about walking with somebody. But walking alone, and the senior center has a great walking path out there. It's a paved path out next to the building, and it's just it's healthy. You feel good. It's a little brisk in the morning. It's cool, and you get up feeling good, and you walk, and there you go. And they have it measured too. If you need to walk X amount of distance, they can help you with that as well. Something else too is the Alzheimer's and Dementia Educational Enlightenment. Invites caregivers and spouses and family members, those of the community, to attend a November 17th Senior Center meeting. They're going to have a meeting November 17th. That's tonight.
Yes.
That's tonight at 5:30 at the Senior Center. The goal is to educate the community about Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Now, during the meeting, participants will be given helpful tips and information. They'll also have an opportunity to meet with others that may be facing similar challenges when dealing with an Alzheimer's or dementia diagnosed person. Now, this disease, this horrible disease, is prevalent everywhere now. I mean, and I don't know of a single family that has not been through this. Somebody in the family will have dementia of some sort. Alzheimer's is only one of several different diseases. Now, Tracy Smith will be the instructor here with many years of experience. She'll be able to answer questions you have and offer lots of helpful information and advice. If you would like information about this, call Rob again at 919-731-1589, 731-1589. Okay, and what have you there, fair lady?
We have a Christmas Bazaar fundraiser that is coming up at the Senior Center on Saturday, December the 3rd,
Okay.
from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. The $10, you can rent a table and sell your arts and crafts, baked goods or collectibles, and space is limited, so they recommend you get your restoration in soon.
There you go.
And you can contact Sandra
Spasojevic.
at 919-731-1591, or you can contact Rob at 731-1589.
Just call and ask for Sandra. There you go. They know who you're talking about.
Also,
Oh, there's more.
Okay. They will have the Christmas open house at the Senior Center on Wednesday, December the 7th from 2 until 5. DJ Wildheart will provide the entertainment, and they will have refreshments and door prizes, and please come and enjoy some holiday cheer with us. The public is welcome.
Well, how about that? That's a lot of fun. They do it upright. That's a lot of fun. Okay. Is that it? And one final word. Those who need information about FEMA or need information about they have recently released a new
Public notice.
Public notice, and it's on the Wayne County website. So you can go to waynegov.com or to our Facebook page. Is it on Facebook?
It's on
or
Facebook
our Facebook
and Twitter.
Page. And Twitter. waynegov.com, and read this. It has to do, it's from FEMA, and it has to do with help being offered by FEMA, and explains it a little better, and also explains that FEMA may be having to provide temporary housing in the form of either mobile homes or a manufactured housing of some sort. Anyway, there's details on our website about that, and you can go to that. And once you get past all the legalese about it, it pretty much is self-explanatory. So you can go to waynegov.com and determine where you stand on this. All right? And this is for, of course, victims and survivors of the flood. from Hurricane Matthew. And that's going to do it for today. One more thing. Let me give you that answer to that trivia question. When you think about it, there's only been one election in the U.S. of A. where there was only one candidate running for office. And the name of that candidate and the winner of that election was Mr. George Washington, president number one. No one ran against him. Now, some wanted to, but they were discouraged from doing so. And there's a whole history, a whole story there. One of the most fascinating stories you have heard or read. If you know something about Mr. George Washington, then good for you. If you don't, I suggest you learn about the father of our country, our first constitutional president of the U.S. of A., because I think you'll find him to be a very interesting person. I guarantee it. And that's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow, tomorrow being another day. I think tomorrow's Friday, isn't it?
Tomorrow's Friday.
Oh, boy. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Have yourself a fine day. If you happen to be headed about anywhere, about any time, and then please wear your seatbelt. It saves lives. So until tomorrow, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.